Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm just getting back into some more back testing. So I'll just be picking up from where I left off last time. So here we go. Alright, so I'm gonna take a position here based off of a break and retest. Simple setup. So we had these lows being formed here on price. We had a clear breakthrough, came back up. It kind of tried to spike through the level, but closed off with a bearish pin bar just after, followed by a bearish engulfing candle that engulfed that pin bar, and then we kind of retracing up into the levels slowly. So I'm going to take a position here, the initial target. So these lows, I'll keep a tight stop and then look for further lows for further targets. Alright, so stops will now be on break even. Alright, so I'm going to take another position here based off of this price action here, just rejection of this level. We had a price push through this level, had a major rejection, came up for a second test, forming like this kind of double top together with this rejection of the level. So I'm going to take another position here because this position is already in profit, and then I'll target further lows of kind of around this level, somewhere like around this level here, right? So these lows here. All right, sweet. I'm gonna take another short position here because it retested this broken level. It came up quite bullishly, forming this bullish flag pattern, but you know, it came strongly into the level and it rejected straight away with this bearish candle. So I'm gonna take another position here. Initial targets of just by where the flag formation finished, and then final targets at this low here. Alright, so that's -1. So yeah, that probably wasn't the best trade, purely because of this bullish price action that was being formed. But anyway, you can't win them all. Alright, I'm going to take another short position here, purely based off of the fact that we have this massive flag pattern forming. Price then formed a lower high within a minor flag pattern. So we had this minor flag pattern here. It broke, it retested, and now it's showing bearish price action with these massive rejections of this broken trend line. So I'm going to take a short position here, targeting these initial lows here, and then final targets, I don't know, maybe at either this low or this low. It depends on if this gets hit. I'll use a slightly tighter stop loss to just get the risk to reward up. Stop loss will be just above. I would have liked to cover this wick here, but I think because of the price action I'm seeing, it's rejecting this trend line quite nicely. So hopefully it should be this candle just here should be respected. So I'll put my stop just above this candle here. Alright, so I'm gonna take a scale in position here, just based off of this rejection. So we had price push up back into the level that was broken here, but it rejected straight away. So I'll take another position here. Okay, initial targets will just be these lows here. And then if that target gets hit, I'll target this low here based on this flag pattern where we had this impulsive move. Alright, so targets got hit, 1.64. Sweet. Alright, I'll take another position here, just based off of that big liquidity spike. I'll enter on this bearish candle here. Stops will go just above the level and target initial targets of the zone below, just to see if we can get that retest of that zone. All right, so that one stopped out. Alright, so I'm going to take a position here just based off of a break and retest of this level here. We had price push through with some momentum on this candle, and it came up, rejected, and then closed off with this bearish engulfing candle. So I'm just going to take a position here. I'll see what risk to reward we get, but I'll target further lows. Wow, okay. I'll have to jump to the higher time frame to see, but yeah. So I'm going to take a position here, see what we get with previous lows for risk to reward. Stops will go just above the level. Yeah, cool. All right, so we'll get 1.5. That's the minimum I'll look for. If that gets hit, then I'll look for further targets. All right, so -1 there. All right, so I'm going to take another position here, based off of this big bullish candle that rushed into the level, and we had every opportunity to continue going, but the sellers came in and rejected the level. So I'm going to try the trade again. but this time I'll go with a slightly higher stop loss, probably just above these wicks here. Alright, so I'll jump to the higher time frame to try to find final targets. Alright, I'm going to take another position here, so I'm going to scale in. Purely based on the slow retracement into the level and the sign of rejection, right? So it slowly trickle back into the level. It seemed like a fairly decent level, so I'm just going to take another position here and scale in, right? I just like this sort of slow price action with this bearish rejection here. Alright, I didn't have a initial first target for this second trade, but because of the units of profits it's in right now, I'm just gonna take half of the position off here at 5 hour. Alright, I'm gonna close off the position here because we having trouble making. We had this rejection here where price had opportunity to continue going. It did a retracement, right? And then it pushed down bearishly, right? But it didn't have momentum to break through this initial level that it created. Instead, it started to reject. So I would have liked to see a nice bearish candle breakthrough on the very next candle, but this candle showed rejection. So that's telling me that the sellers are kind of weak in the market. So I'm just gonna close off the position here because it's in some nice risk to reward right now. Alright, so I'm going to take a position here based on this corrective movement into this kind of longer term trend line, right? We had price reject. It broke this very, very minor level, right? But you could see very clearly here on this candle, the buyers tried to go in. It rejected the level straight away and dropped. So based on this sort of price action, I'm just going to take a position here, target sort of this kind of minor flag pattern here. Right, and then further targets maybe of these lows here. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna close the position off here. Reason being because we had price push. Then it didn't quite make it to the lows. It rejected, it broke back above the level, right? Then it rejected. We had sellers come back in, but then straight away, instead of momentum being with the sellers, we had buyers come back in and push the price higher. So I'm just gonna close the trade off here to, pretty much preserve capital. All right. This isn't the clearest setup, but based off of this sort of corrective kind of movement into this, I thought we were gonna see a M formation, right? This sort of like big M. But price isn't really dropping. However, it tried to push higher here. It rejected the level, came down, it correctively kind of moved back to the level with this massive rejection. Then it kind of just trickled along, just consolidating pretty much. But then we have this big bearish engulfing candle, pretty much taking out all this price action that has been happening with this corrective movement. So I'm going to take a position here, put my stops just above the wick, just above the level, and target, you know, sort of like these lows here or these lows here. I don't know, maybe I'll see what risk reward I get, right? As normal. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna take a kind of risky position here because we up quite a bit for the month. So based on this sort of price action, so we have this sort of corrective pattern forming together with a double top. So we have that double top formation, and price is currently rejecting the these highs here, right? It's pretty much exact. So, and you're seeing these very, very small body candles, which showing you that buyers aren't strong in the market. Plus we had this massive bearish move. We have the corrective pattern being formed. So I'll take this position with a very tight stop and then just target initial targets at these lows, and then I'll look for further targets. Nice. All right, I'm gonna take one more position here because this is the end of the month. So I'm gonna wrap up after this trade. So basically what I'm seeing here is that we had the strong bearish move together with this corrective move back into this. It's a little bit messy, but we have this little level here together in confluence with this minor trend line that was broken. And then we have this sort of bigger flag pattern forming. So based on this, I'm looking at a break and a retest here, together with the fact that we had rejection and a bearish candle. Bearish candle isn't showing the best, it's not showing much rejection to the top, but it's still a bearish candle, right? So I'm just gonna take it, just gonna take a position here and see how it goes. All right, initial targets will just be kind of these lows here, and then look for further targets. Yeah, I don't really like this. I don't really like this price action because, you know, I just like to see my trades going to profit straight away, but it's kind of showing a lot of bullish pressure. You're not really seeing the bearish pressure. So almost. Wow. Okay, well, there you go. All right, sweet. That wraps up 2 months of testing. So I'll just recap my trades. So basically we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 trades. We lost 1, 2, 3, 4. So we lost 4 and won 8. Which is, I'm happy with that. It's pretty good. So let's have a look. So we started the month off on, wow, we started May off on 41% and grown the account to 88%. That's pretty good. So yeah, we roughly did about 43% for those 2 months, or 43 depending on how much you risk. Win rate still pretty good, 21 wins, 9 losses, 70% win rate. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, I think that was a productive backtesting session. Hopefully you guys were able to pick something up from from the way that I test. So as usual, if you like the video, feel free to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll catch you in the next video.